Everyone, welcome back to the channel, Coin's Reaction Zone, and episode 16 of Scooby-Doo. Last episode was called Spooky Space Kook. It was episode 15 that I rated a 5 out of 10. And this episode was released on December 20th, 1969. And in this episode, the gang arrives at an airfield where there's this creepy farmer that warns them about the Spooky Space Kook who was in the opening of the series. But the bad guy was Henry Bascom. He wanted to scare people away from the airfield so he could buy the land for cheap. But the Scooby Gang, of course, captured him and sent him away. So it was a little bit of a nothing episode just because of like how I didn't like the carnival one a long time ago where it started off pretty slow, but then it picked up speed right at the end and just kind of went through it very quickly, which some of them I don't really like very much. But overall, it was pretty fun of an episode, which is why I didn't rate it as my worst rated episode, but 5 out of 10 I think is a good one for that. So I'm really excited to get into the last 2 episodes of Scooby-Doo. I'll probably react to them back to back. The first one is called Night of Fright is No Delight. It was released on January 10th, 1970 as episode 16 of the show. It was written by Ken Spears, Joe Ruby, Bill Lutz, and directed by Hanna-Barbera as always. So I'm really excited for this one as we get and finish off the first season. Our current stats so far: Shaggy's at 111 Scooby Snacks eaten, Scooby's at 224. And then property damage hasn't changed for the past 4 episodes, so I'm going to keep on B as a surprise for now. And then we haven't had any weird food eaten since episode 12 of the show. We've had some weird food, but they don't actually talk about it, so it's kind of a harder one to go through. So I just leave it blank. Yeah, and this is also the first episode to air in 1970, and the first in the 1970s decade as a whole. So let's see how strong we start off with the 1970s. Creepy place to read a will. Scooby's inheriting a fortune.
Eccentric millionaire Colonel Beauregard Sanders leaves $1 million to 4 relatives and a dog named Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo had rescued old Beauregard from a fish pond several years before and was remembered. Well, I wish
That's funny. It's kind of like a murder mystery thing. Scooby happened to save him from a pond, and now he's a part of the will. That's hilarious. So there's 4 suspects then. If they all show up, that'd be awesome.
Oh, I see you made it. We'll bring the dog and come in. The others are waiting inside.
Yes, sir.
And it's kind of funny though, because the will part, Scooby can actually talk, so it makes more sense. Oh yes, there is 4 suspects. Awesome. I love that. 4 suspects in Scooby. This is gonna be my favorite one.
His only instructions were to play this record for you.
Play the record.
Greetings, y'all. Cousin Sybil, nephew Normal, sweet cousin Maldehyde, cousin Slicker, and my old friend Scooby-Doo.
I love the smile.
Y'all here.
So all cousins.
Get down to the nitty-gritty of inheriting my fortune. Y'all going to receive an equal share of the $1 million Roe Biden you spend tonight here in the old family mansion.
That shouldn't be too hard.
Get
The house is haunted.
an equal share of $1 million.
And those of you that don't stay, each share of the fortune will go to the others. Now, good night and pleasant dreams, y'all.
Well, here's a fun little math. $1 million in 1970 is equivalent to $8 million today. Well, 7.913 million, but rounded up to 8 million today because of inflation.
First, I'm gonna hit the old lunch sack with a Shaggy
Oh.
Super sandwich.
Oh, that's he's mentioned that Shaggy Super Sandwich before, but it looks completely different, but he's not actually talking about it, so I'm gonna keep it down. And I think this is also the first time we've seen them wearing pajamas too. That's interesting. So I don't have an initial guess so far. I guess I'm gonna think it's... Yeah, I need to get their suspects. We got Cosgood Creeps, Cousin Simple, Cousin Slicker, Cousin Maldehyde, and Nephew Norble. I think Cosgood Creeps seems good, since he's kind of like the butler kind of style.
And you saw a shadowy chain-rattling phantom?
It's pretty good special effects on this guy though, right? Oh, here we go. Going against the first guy.
Or cousin Simple. All that's left of him is
Okay, so we got
Isn't that a shame?
those 3
Hey, get a
cousins.
load of this writing on this dusty mirror.
Says the first is gone, the rest will go, unless you leave the island and row, row, row.
Kind of reminds me of Willy Wonka whenever somebody gets incapacitated.
I think we better return to our rooms and lock our doors.
Oh, nice Scooby-Doo fake.
Looks just like Scooby-Doo. You think this plan will work, Freddy?
Sure, I left the door unlocked, so So when the Phantom Shadow comes in to grab the dummy of Scooby,
I wonder what time it is supposed to be now. Probably like just a nice initial guess of 2 a.m. or something.
I can't think of a safer place. Can you, Scoob?
Oh geez, that freaking Phantom Shadow full on trying to kill them.
The Phantom Shadow must have been this way.
That's funny. If he's a phantom shadow, how come he leaves footprints?
Footprints.
30 feet?
Well, we're going to follow those dirty feet and find that phantom. And you're going to lead the
It's
way.
kind of funny though the way that Velma does that when she knows for a fact that that they don't exist. She just still says it anyways.
I gotta be brave. Uniforms must have been his favorite.
Uniform?
Wagons full of
Confederate uniforms? Oh gosh.
Doinks, haunted uniforms.
It has to be a bird in there, right? Yep. Oh, a swan or duck.
Scooby?
But where is Cousin Slicker?
Okay.
Like Cousin
So we got 2 relatives left, or 1,
They're all gone.
or 2, yeah.
Cousin Slicker?
Oh, all of them. Never mind.
Cousin Maldahide.
All but one.
All right, then it has to be. They weren't butlers. It has to be the Attorney General, and he mentioned the partner, I believe, as well.
4 missing heirs, a haunted house, and a Phantom Shadow.
Like all that's missing is a spooky organ.
So either there's 1 Phantom Shadow or 2, because 1 was chasing the gang while 1 was getting rid of the relative. So it has to be Attorney General guys, or not generals. That's like a high position, just 2 attorneys.
There's some writing on the cover.
Beat the organ and watch the floor.
If anyone's
Oh,
gonna
that's
get them
creepy.
out here, it's gonna be me.
I think it's funny that he's kind of dressed like Tom and Jerry style, with like that, just the shirt part of it, and then the bottom is completely blank.
E.D.
Nice, that was quick.
Stairs in the floor.
Just those 4 notes was able to get it. Dog shaped. It just looks like a smaller person. It doesn't really look dog shaped.
Opening.
It's them, the cousins.
It opened really quick. The Phantom Shadow looks pretty good though. Yep, I knew there's 2. Yeah, it has to be the attorneys. They're the only 2 pair. Unless one of the guys in the coffin is faking it. Oh, a Scooby snack. That's 1 more for Scoob. Bringing his total up to 225. I love how Scooby though is Shaggy's the only one that went back for Scooby to make sure he was okay. How the heck did they do that?
That goofy ghost this time. He'll never
It's
find
probably his acrobatics from episode 1 that they never mention again.
Scoob. Get
Full on asking him to die. Also, the ghost did it, but that was still technically damage. I'm gonna call like
Don't fire till you see the green of his eyes.
$1,000 for that, for both of them. Then I'm gonna add another $2,000 for both of them for wine, because wine gets expensive, man. And I just want to add more property damage to them. Oh, that's the first time Velma's actually done some comedy like that. It's interesting. And his head moves completely separate from his body. Like, those costumes are really strong. Why would you even make a 4-person tandem bicycle like that just so the ghost can catch on?
Hey, how'd you get that green stuff on your hand?
Dancing with those green ghosts. How else?
That's it. Come on, everybody, to the laundry room.
Shaggy got green stuff on his hand.
We use a fan, some soap suds on the floor, a spring-loaded ironing board, and a washing machine.
And when those ghosts come through the door, we're going to take them to the cleaners.
Now, let's see how it works. Ready, Scooby? Hurry.
Bet on.
They made it, and now they're using Scooby to test it, which is pretty funny. I think that's the first time I've ever really tested the trap. It always kind of just hilariously miscues anyways, and Scooby or Shaggy get stuck in it, or both.
Scooby turned it on too soon.
And like in reverse yet.
Oh my gosh, reversing the whole thing in Jesus. And turned into a little airplane.
They went out the door.
Well, they didn't break anything coming out here at all.
I can't steer this crazy machine.
Oh my gosh, they're full on were able to fly that thing perfect. I love how the ghosts are running from them now too, pretty hard.
Got him.
Well, there
Yep,
you are, Sheriff.
the
Mr.
attorneys.
Priest and his partner, Mr. Crawls.
They were trying to scare all the heirs off the island.
Then
I knew it.
No one would spend the night, and they would keep control of the
Well, since they kind of sucks. It's the most suspects we've ever had. We had 6.
Then they put dummies that look just like them in the coffins.
But that plan backfired.
So did painting themselves like green ghosts.
Well, where they're going, creeps and crawls could use a good lawyer. It all belongs to you now, Scooby. $1 million.
Oh, no! Wouldn't you know it? All the Confederate money.
Oh no.
We spent a night of fright for some worthless money in a haunted house that wasn't even haunted. Oh no? And what's that?
Zoinks! A floating haunted bone.
Well, you could probably get some you probably not the value of it, but you could probably get some money just for a collector. Kind of sucks though. I knew it'd be Confederate money with all the flags and stuff. Oh, that's unfortunate for Scooby. I looked it up, and an 1864 $50 bill is now worth on eBay less than $10. That sucks for them. From 1861 in an excellent condition, they can go for hundreds of thousands. Still sucks though that it was kind of fake money, essentially, since it's been so long. That one was a pretty fun episode. It was the first one where we had several suspects. Too bad they got rid of them pretty quickly, so we couldn't really guess on them. So the only one that it ends up default being was the first attorney. It had to be him because his name, God's Good Creep, kind of messed up, but he had a creepy appearance. But everybody else was kind of easy peasy to figure out. I think I would give this one a 6 out of 10. I think it was very enjoyable with like the different suspects and the different interactions. Like the ghosts look good, but they never really explain like how they use their ghosts around, and also they got rid of the suspects pretty quick, which is why it's not going to be like a higher score than that. It's not going to beat my 7.5 from Go Away Ghost Ship. We also got one more Scooby snack eaten by Scooby, bringing his total up to 225. And then Shaggy and Scooby both got like $4,000 of damage between them with the chandelier and also the wine bottles. Honestly surprised they didn't destroy anything with their flying machine washer because they were really going forward flying around. So Shaggy's up to $112,300 of property damage, and Scooby's up to $2,021,400. Pretty good so far on that, and I'm excited to see where we end off after the first season. So maybe I'll make a different stats side for property damage by season. Still do the total, but by season I'll stop it. So I think that's going to do it from me for now. Thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you in the finale of season 1. Have a great day.